What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the post that you love. But you can get everything the Draymond Green Show right on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. Check that out. Thank you. The Los Angeles Lakers, and they had some news this weekend with Bron scoring 40,000 points, crossing first player in NBA history to cross 40,000 points versus the Nuggets on Saturday. Interestingly enough, everyone's saying like, oh man, that record is way out of reach. But if you look not too far behind, Kevin Durant's right around 32,000 points. And Kevin Durant loves playing basketball. And I'm not sure when he's ever going to stop playing basketball because dude just like that's what he lives for. He lives to play basketball. And so I personally think there is pressure on LeBron to keep playing and as long as he can and keep pushing that record further and further out because you have a Kevin Durant who's in year 17, if I'm not mistaken. And like LeBron, who's in year 21, Kevin may be still playing, scoring at a very high level in year 21. And so I think Bron needs to push this record out as far as he can. And let's face it, Bron probably has another 2 or 3 years left playing. I don't know that to be certain. Could be more, could be less. I don't think any of us know that. But if he plays another 2 or 3 years, he's going to average at least 20 points. So you could figure in probably another 5,000 points. So that pushes it to 45,000. You got KD at roughly, call it 32,000. So he'd need another 13,000 over, give or take, the next 7 years. Probably is out of reach. That's a very tall task. But man, it just keeps getting more and more incredible, the things that you see Bron, what he's able to do. The way he took over games over the course of this weekend was absolute, or coming into the weekend and over the course of the weekend was absolutely incredible. The fact that he could still do that. Got to tip your hat to him. Kudos on 40,000 points. First person ever. There aren't many firsts in the NBA. You're just talking about an incredible league that's had great players for years, dating back years. There aren't still many firsts that can be done. And to be the first to cross 40,000 point mark, still always talk about him being a guy that people don't say, oh man, Bron's a scorer, which is crazy to think. And this man is the first person to score 40,000 points. But you tip your hat to him. And they couldn't pull that game out against the Nuggets, which kind of sucks. You know, when you have those types of nights like that, you want them to end in a win just so it feel as good as you want it to feel.
Get in on the action with the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. How cool of a deal is that? All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. It takes 90 seconds and use the code COLIN. COLIN. This is the best deal you're going to find. New customers, it's a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. How cool is that? Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Code is Colin. The crown is yours.
Needless to say, the Denver Nuggets are real. I think they're unbeatable coming out of the All-Star break, as is another team, and one in which we're facing tomorrow. The Milwaukee Bucks are also unbeatable. They beat the Clippers last night at home. No Giannis. Bobby Portis got off. Dame went off. And that team looks like they're rallying around Doc, interestingly enough. You know, all the chatter going into All-Star break with Doc and JJ and Austin Rivers and Patrick Beverly, all of the talk, the feuding, it looked like that team is like starting to rally around Doc, which I think is very commendable. I think it's very interesting. I also think that's what you're looking for when you bring in a coach like Doc. You know, essentially the thought behind that is, all right, well, we had a younger and head coaching Adrian Griffin, we need someone that can get the locker room. And, that's what a lot of people were saying, that Adrian Griffin no longer had the locker room. And if you don't have the locker room, you can't win in this league. And so what this 5-0 start out of the All-Star break, or 6-0, whatever it is, for the Milwaukee Bucks will say to me is that team is rallying around the noise around their team, rallying around the noise around their coach. And they're using that as motivation, and they're playing well off of it. And so got to give those guys some credit. Like I said, we got them coming in here tomorrow. It's a big game for us, obviously. We know how crazy this race is in the West. Every night you're kind of looking at the standings like, oh, man, this team lost. Oh, we can gain the game. We didn't move here. Or we didn't lose a game because that team lost. So you kind of got that thing going in the West, especially in the play-in and right at the back half of the top 6. Teams all kind of in a cluster right there, and every game mattering. And so a big game for us. First game of a 3-game homestand before we get back on the road. So want to try to take care of all these before this Texas swing.